You know, I got started in this back when I was a manager at a garden center. We had a little segment called Plant Talk, and they were little 90-second shots, and they were aired in the evening news. And that's kind of how I got started in video. And it was, I don't know, it was exciting. I hated it and I loved it, okay? Anyway, I asked several different videographers over the years, hey, you guys, we should start a YouTube channel. And there was really no interest. So eventually, 10 years later, I decided I'm just going to have to teach myself how to edit videos. And it's actually become one of the more, I guess, fascinating, more interesting parts about it. So that surprised me. So that's kind of how I got started with YouTube. And I've never really had a personal social media presence. And I guess I don't talk about myself, but when it came to plants, I became excited, energized, and that'll come through on the camera. So that's kind of why I started it. It was also one of those things, you know, you hear people say, man, why didn't I do that when I was younger? And so it was one of those end-of-life questions where I said, if I don't at least try it, I'll regret that I didn't. And what YouTube's done, it's totally reinvigorated, energized me as far as enthusiasm for the field. You get into a mindset with YouTube that if you have to create content on a weekly basis, your mind becomes just hyper-focused. And I got to get a picture of that. It used to be my wife and I would drive somewhere, but now we have to pull off and I have to jump out and get a picture of a tree because I've literally taken thousands of photos now. And I do everything with the simple tech of an iPhone. It's just incredible what you can do because everything I take with my iPhone, it goes into the cloud. I can pull it up on my iMac and then I can edit my photos like that. So it's very convenient. And since I'm actually doing a lot of things where I'm pruning and just rough conditions, this is super easy to set up. I've always got my phone, and I actually learned how to do this. Like I had to find 2 years ago, you couldn't just buy an audio system for an iPhone, not a good one. So I watched YouTube videos to learn how to find the proper adapter. So that's how I learned to do that. And then editing videos, I just found some good guys that really do a great job on YouTube, and I learned how to edit videos one winter. The hard part I have found with YouTube and with content and with data, I've had to become more organized on being able to find photos. So again, I just use my iPhone and the photo library. I have hundreds of libraries, and it might be Colorado spruce, and I can attach and grab those photos. You can do the audio layover, video layover. So as I'm doing the video, my mind now works 10 steps ahead or backwards. And as I'm mentioning something, I might know I have a photo of a beautiful pine tree, and I can start talking casually about that, and I can just bring that photo in later. So you learn some of the tricks of the trade. I'm new to it. I don't know if it'll ever become where I'll hire a videographer. It didn't make sense financially. So I called my channel Garden Hike because eventually I knew I might start running out of content in this little footprint, so I can start hiking around other people's gardens. One of my ambitions I'd really like to do it with my wife, we want to go to the different arboretums, botanical gardens all through the United States. And then I can do filming, do editing, do the videos on those type of situations. We haven't had much of a chance to do that yet. And I've noticed too, there's a difference between doing video when you're by yourself compared to out in public, whereas you get people noticing you. So you have to overcome certain fears. And I guess bottom line, the last thing about it is once you overcome the fear of being on camera, you don't really notice it anymore, and it's kind of a liberating feeling to do the YouTube. At the same time, it's a lot of work. It's a grind, and I've learned YouTube, if I ever want to make some money, I'm making a little bit. It's a long haul. I'm sure there's people that are successful immediately, but for me, I'm looking at a 5-year window, and then I'll reevaluate it and see if I want to continue doing it. Either way, I'll have hundreds of videos. I'm closing in on about 185 videos right now, and my goal every week is to do one a week. And then I started a blog too, gardenhike.com, and I'm trying to match up a little bit of content where I write to see if I like writing. I'll match that up with my videos, and so that added more time to the equation. Kind of like being a writer, but I think that's going to be more of the winter project.
When you do your programs, how long do you aim for them to be?
You know, maybe it's my perception. I see a lot of other gardening channels doing really long videos, 30 minutes, an hour. And as a consumer, I like the shorter videos. And so maybe that's why I gravitate towards more of I would say on average, I'm maybe 7 or 8 minutes. Probably the longest videos I've done are 20 minutes. What I find, the longer the video, the more the editing and the longer it takes to produce it. And I think the average that I kind of came up with, if I did an 8-minute video, it's about an hour per minute. And so an 8-minute video, I probably have at least 8 hours into it by the time you film it, edit it, do everything you have to do to download it to YouTube. But I want to encourage anybody that has aspirations to do YouTube. It's quite the experience. Being a content creator just gives you a different mindset. So it's really one of the best things I think I've ever done.
Do you do most of your filming and pictures here in your yard?
I do. And you know, I do have the benefit of having so many varieties like we talked about, and I can do pruning, I can do mulching, I can do little landscape projects, but I also work for a great small little landscape company that he says, hey, anytime you want to video something, I'll just ask a customer, you mind if I set my camera up? And so if I'm doing a pruning job, there you go. Set my camera up, throw my mic on, and I'll just prune away. And I've always got the footage. That's the other thing about YouTube. I think people think that they have to use the video, and you don't. Do the video, take the picture. It might be a year later that you decide, hey, I've got that content. I remember doing that. And I've had many situations now, even like 18 months ago, but it takes me about 3 months to find the photo. See, that's the trade-off. But yeah, so it's really a unique type of thing. Initially, when I started YouTube, you would tell people, yeah, I do a YouTube channel. You'd get the eye roll, and then they find out you're making a little money, and it's like, okay, then they take you a little more serious. So, yeah.
So how's it grown so far?
You know, I say 14 months ago, I think I hit the 1,000 people, 1,000 subscribers I hit where you can monetize. And now I'm up to 6,000, 6,300. So I get about 20 subscribers a day. Yeah, so it really does. If you do the long haul with YouTube, you can get a pretty good scale up. Now, I'm still fighting in my mind whether or not I want that much exposure. Right now, I'm just trying to keep it about the plants. And that's my primary focus. Is if I lose that and it becomes a money game, I think it'll just change.
Well, thanks so much for letting us come out and see your beautiful yard
Oh.
and learning so many things too.
Oh, I just loved having you. I was really excited about this just to show you. My wife and I love sharing the gardens, and it's not about what we've done. It's just how beautiful plants can be.